Green Bay power sweep. It's very simple.
Turning to a story about a top set of Republicans with detailed plans to steal elections. And it's the news tonight because these same top Republicans are the ones sharing their own detailed plans. It's kind of like a coach releasing their own secret playbook. But in fact, this story also takes a page out of an epic NFL playbook. Trump White House vet Steve Bannon is indicted and awaiting trial for hiding evidence about his January 6th plotting. Now one of his very own accomplices, Trump vet Peter Navarro, is leaking their own January 6 plans, detailing the scheme to try to help Trump stay in power despite his loss. Navarro calls all of it, in his view, the perfect plan. He has a new book that recounts how they wanted to rally congressional Republicans to interfere with certifying Joe Biden's win. Now, ultimately, 147 members of Congress did vote against the standard practice of certifying that win. Navarro likens the whole effort to Hall of Fame coach Vince Lombardi's legendary play, the Green Bay Sweep, citing the goal of creating a chaotic process that would yield 24 hours of televised hearings. Now, for the Green Bay Packers, the sweep was generally considered unstoppable. For these Trump fans invoking it, not so much. They failed to delay the planned certification on January 6th, even amidst the related insurrection. Their playbook aimed at adding time and public attention on these election complaints for Trump, which they thought would pressure Mike Pence and get him to ultimately join what would have been an illegal coup. Now, Navarro says they didn't even, in his view, quote, need protesters or the insurrection. They just needed more Republicans in Congress willing to attack the lawful outcome of the election. In other words, and again, he's saying this, they just needed more authoritarians and would-be dictator supporters in our government. Obama campaign veteran Shay Coman-Dury says the whole comparison here is revealing because the Green Bay sweep is not about strategy. Some sports techniques are, but in contrast, it was always about pure power on the field, where the opposition realizes the sweep is coming, but they cannot stop it. Coman-Dury says that matches the Republican Party playbook on brazenly using its power to kneecap voting rights or put Trump loyalists in posts so they might cheat in the next election, and thus show power and dominance by undermining democracy in an open fashion, he argues. And, of course, none of this is very original. Turns out, Coman-Dury points out, Navarro's only echoing other Republicans who invoked the exact same play, like Gingrich, when he was Speaker. And while Navarro is telling his version of the story now, there's also evidence of how Bannon was talking at the time, contemporaneously, as the lawyers would say. Here was Bannon before the insurrection. Actually, we found this of him speaking there on the fateful morning of January 6th.
So I keep saying the mantra, you call the play, now run the play, right? It's like the old Green Bay power sweep. It's very simple. Just one thing leads to another, very logical, and a victory is affirmed.